It is loading right now. We're going to be live in about 30 seconds.
Appreciate you. All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us again for our final day of STEMCon. What a week it's been. We've heard from some incredible speakers, and we have another incredible speaker to add to that list. Here we have James Smith, who is a senior machining instructor at Gateway Community College at the Central City campus in Phoenix. In his role, he leads a team providing all aspects of training in machining, individual manual machining, CNC machining, and meteorology. A big believer in adult education, James supports student success and bridging the gap between academia and industry. James is passionate about helping chip away at the current manufacturing skills gap. He is a qualified National Institute of Metalworking Skills machining instructor and holds all level 1 machining certifications they offer. He is no stranger to machining, having spent 35 years as a machinist in aerospace, medical, semiconductor, and general machining industries. James helps career-oriented adults to acquire required skills to enter the workforce of manufacturing, re-careering, and continued post-secondary education. His focus is a passing on many years of learned tribal knowledge from 35 years of work experience to students within the machining programs at Gateway Central City. James, thank you for joining us. Take it away.
Hello. Enough about me, because now I'm like, okay, I'm not really self-conscious about what I'm doing here. But I don't want to talk too much about the program as much as pushing on the knowledge of actually debunking some of the myths about manufacturing. What I'm talking about is, in the olden days, manufacturing was a dirty, grungy, oily job from some old guy who was 100 years old on some unsafe equipment, and that was before my time. These days, manufacturing is totally different. It's evolving. The days of the open machinery and all the belts and unsafe grunginess is going away. So nowadays it's a lot of clean room shops and a lot more technology involved and brain power involved compared to the olden days. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to share my screen with you and go through a presentation that will help. Can you see my screen? I believe you can. So this will help not only debunk some of the myths, but I want to get you excited about manufacturing. When you say manufacturing, it's almost like a dirty word, right? I mean, who wants to be a machinist, right? But man, hopefully by the time I'm done here, you're going to understand why I'm excited about being a machinist, and I've been doing it for so long. There's no way I would want to do anything else. So right off the bat, I think I've done this wrong. Right off the bat, there I am. My name is James Smith, and all the students and everybody on campus call me Jimbo. And I'm the senior instructor for the machining program here on Central City. And here's a little slide about what I was talking about, the old grungy style machinery, how they run with those leather belts that ran up to a shaft into the ceiling. And outside that shaft was run by a big diesel engine. So it was unsafe. It was sometimes back east, it was so cold, it was like an ice box inside of the shop. Here's the shops of these days. Here's a modern machine shop. Not all of them are this clean and organized, but I can tell you, because of all the ISO 9000 requirements, a lot of your shops are very clean and very organized because of the type of work that they do. Now, when we talk about manufacturing, we're not just talking about machining metal. We're talking about machining plastics, or not just machining, but it could be any type of manufacturing. And we'll get to that in a second. Here's our facility right here. Look how nice and clean and organized it is. And I will tell you, this wasn't cleaned up before the photo shoot. This is an actual everyday look at our shop. The students take really good care of it, and it's just really awesome. So if you can imagine, that's a regular shop. This is our shop. Now, what we like to do is, when we're training our students, we like to train them in a manufacturing environment that's much like a real machine shop. So when the students are done, they feel very comfortable in the environment that they're going into. So it's almost like just going to a different room. Here's the types of manufacturing that are out there. There's manual machining, CNC machining, which CNC stands for computer numerical control. So there's 3D printing. Everybody, that's a real popular thing these days. There's molds, like injection molds, and how they make all types of plastic pieces, and dies where they have these big pieces of machinery and they crunch the metal into a part with a lot of pressure. And so there's a lot of different fields in machining, a lot of different flavors. And this is just touching on the main ones: aerospace, medical, Department of Defense, which they do all the tanks and the aircraft and all the weaponry, semiconductors that do all the computer stuff, and the little PCB boards, and transportation, mining, anything that's tangible that you can put your hands on, a tool or a machine has manufactured it. So you can only imagine how many fields there are out there. And it's not just here in the United States. Once you get training, you take it, whether you go across seas or into another country, it is the same. So, is manufacturing a cool trade to get into? After these next few slides, I think I'm going to try to motivate you into thinking how cool it is. Legos are built by machines that are built by machinists. Now, there is a company in Denmark that makes Legos 24/7, 365 days a year. In a manufacturing plant that's all automated and runs without human interference. And it runs 24. I mean, it just runs and runs and runs. And sports, everything that has to do with the motors on these NASCAR machines was machined by CNCs. And not only just NASCAR, you're looking at any kind of marine sports, golf clubs. Ping is real big golf club manufacturing. Wheels, if you're into customizing your cars, and I don't know if you've ever heard of a billet wheel, but these wheels are made from one solid piece of aluminum with a CNC machine. Pretty cool. And see how they have the different colors? That's a process called anodizing. Any kind of color you want makes it look really cool. Aerospace and Department of Defense, DOD. Here's a picture of an Apache TAC helicopter. Awesome. There's over 1 million parts on that helicopter. That's just one piece of machinery that's largely manufactured from CNC machines. Here we go. Just lately, we had the rover landing on the moon, or not the moon, on Mars. The parts are manufactured with CNC machines. Here we go. I have to put that in there. Is anyone home, right? So you can imagine the sky's the limit. Not only the sky, but now Mars, right? So you remember this guy, the $6 million man, Lee Majors. If you remember the comic books or the show, he was a bionic man. He had parts that were made like a prosthetic limbs, and they put them back together. Check it out. 3D printed leg. This is printed from pure titanium. This is amazing. This is where the future's going. The medical industry. Come on, this is a beating heart right here. A machine that was built by CNCs and injection molds is sustaining this heart, get ready to be put or do a heart transplant for somebody. They also have them for lungs. They have lung machines that keep the lungs sustained until they're able to put them in the bodies. Check it out. Come on now. Here's a kid, got brand new legs. He's doing little races and competitions now. It don't get no more cooler than that, right? So manufacturing is cool for everybody. Don't matter who you are. It's cool. It's not only cool, but it makes you feel, it gives you a feeling of satisfaction when you're building parts that's going to be used for something. That is cool for me. So our program here at Central City is about $5,800, about 630 hours long. You're going to spend 8 months with this guy over here to the right. That's me. And then the guy over here to the left is a former student. He is doing fantastic in the field, by the way. And you're going to come to school Monday through Thursday from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. That's like a full-time job. So we're getting you used to being on time every day. So all those soft skills are going to come into play. Being on time, being self-accountable, right? Not only that, but our program is fun. I wish I could bring my students in right now, and I probably should have, just so you guys can throw some questions at them. Maybe next time I will. You're going to earn some industry credentials. Industry credentials are offered through the National Institute of Metalworking Skills. Now, that's a nationally recognized credential. The NIMS credentials in California are the same as the credentials in New York. Now, what that means is those are industry standards that we train you to. Those standards are the same all the way across the country. We offer about 9 of those industry certifications right here. And of course, you have to earn them. This is a competency-based program. You don't come to this program trying to memorize a bunch of theory. We want you to get your hands on the machines. We want you to be able to turn a machine on and create things, right? So you're not going to be standing around all the time in our program. And here's a hello from our current students. These guys are awesome. They're having a fantastic time. The guy in the middle is one of my instructors right there. So Yeah, they're having a blast. So they took this picture so they could say hello to everyone out there in the world to say, hey, we're in this machining program at Central City and we're just having a blast. Here's a former student of ours. And this, just mind you, these are not doctored pictures. These are the actual photos of this gal doing it. She earned all the 9 NIMS certifications, and now she's in an apprenticeship program out in industry as we speak and doing fantastic. So we are located about Central Phoenix, right off of 12th Street Buckeye. And if you want to apply, go to this link right here, gatewaycc.edu. You can find that on the interweb. There's a contact number right there. Get that on the interweb too. Thank you for attending. And I would like to take some questions right now, as soon as I figure out how to get out of this contraption. All right, any questions?
Yeah, so we have one in there that says, what are some of the coolest projects that you personally got to work on while you were still in the industry?
Oh, that's, I could go on and on. Over 35 years, I probably, I guess my favorite one that I've done was, if anybody's ever heard of the AWACS plane, it's a plane that's got the big saucer on the top. And that saucer on the top is a radar system. The radar, that saucer swivels around like on a gyro. I built some of the parts to that gyro system for that saucer for that AWACS plane. I've also built parts for the H-1 Tango Sea Cobra helicopter for McDonnell Douglas. I mean, these are all really cool stuff that I've done that I can say I'm very proud to be a part of. I built parts for the Freedom Space Station out in the space. I can go on and on, but those are some of the biggest and coolest things I've done.
Cool, thank you. So a day in the life of a machinist, what exactly does that look like? Is it pretty client facing? Are you working mostly in the lab? How does that look?
Mostly you're going to be in the lab, basically in the shop. So how this works is I go into work and I go to my machine. Let's say I'm on a CNC mill, and the project manager comes over and says, hey, here's a job, here's your material, and here's your traveler with the work order. Now, and he just gives that to me. I set the machine up. I run all the parts. It might be 50 parts, might be 100 parts. And then I get that part of it done. And so I finish manufacturing that part in my area. And then it goes into an inspection room, which is separate from my area, but we're not customer facing at all. We're always in our areas in the shop. Sometimes when you're cross-trained in the shop, you can go from one machine to another and then build out your parts as you go.
Cool. With so many different industries represented by this, how will students know where they want to work, what they want to get involved in? What kind of experiences do you all offer to kind of showcase that?
That's a really cool question, because when you come into our program, we are very connected with our industry. Our industry partners are going to come in and have presentations face to face with the students, and they're going to tell them about all the different styles of manufacturing there are. In particular, just in about 2 weeks, we have a mold shop coming in. It's a Precision Harris Mold, and they build injection molds for a lot of different types of high precision plastic parts. But the molds themselves are what the machinists build. So depending on the niche of where you're looking to where you want to focus on, I would say get into the program. As you go through the program, you're going to learn about all the different things you could do in all the flavors of machining that you want, if you want to pursue. I'll give you an example. That the gal that you've seen just a few minutes ago on that slideshow, her name's Naya. She came in wanting to do some art, metal artwork. She had no clue that she was going to be doing machining as a trade. But as she went through the program and learned about, oh, wow, this is really cool. I think I'm going to do this for a living. Depending on where you want to go with it, there's a lot of different pathways. If you want to go to engineering, this is a great segue from here going into engineering, or just going to any some more advanced manufacturing courses that are more advanced than this one.
Okay, awesome. That's all we have in terms of questions. Do you have anything else that you have for our students want to follow up with?
Yeah, just get on the website, give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you about the program, and I'd be happy to talk to you about the pathways that you're interested in, if it's for a career or education and just going through the system. I'm happy to help anybody. I always make time.
Okay, awesome. And we will provide your contact details and how to get a hold of you when we have all this information, so students will have that available. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, James.